Brodes Media.
We're all thinking it, baby. We are all thinking it. Welcome in to Sports Talk with Brodes. If you are new to the channel, we break down Philly sports every day here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. And you can take me on the road with you by searching Sports Talk with Brodes on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you leave a 5-star rating and a review, that will help out the algorithm so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You know how much I love you. And lastly, if you're interested in Coffee with Brodes live streams 8 times a month, which is 2 times a week, that's how we split it up. All you have to do is join the memberships here on YouTube. All the information is down below in the description. You also get access to our Discord channel as well. We built a really solid community there, so I can't thank you all enough for that. I'll shut up now. Enjoy the show. Yeah, they might be back, baby. They might be back. Context matters, though. Let's not call me foolish. Let's not call me an obnoxious asshole just yet. There's a reason why I feel they could be back. It's not just because they beat Washington or they won a game against Miami. It's what happened in the game and how they won. Not only do you get a Kyle Schwarber grand slam a game ago, you follow that up with a Weston Wilson cycle. A fucking cycle. That matters. These are moments. Sure, you're in a great position when you play a dumpster fire Washington team. When Zach Wheeler grabs the ball and you can go 6 innings, 1 earned run, and toss it off to someone else when you have a bajillion run lead. But the way it's happening, there's a real big momentum shift that's happening inside the clubhouse walls. And if you don't feel it, you're just being a hater. Trey Turner, after being removed from the lineup, gets a couple of hits and a couple of RBI. Bryce Harper on base 4 times. Now, one of them happened to be an error, but he was walked. He had a couple of hits. He also helped tack on some runs. You started the game off with the 3-run blast from Alec Boehm. Nick Castellanos follows it up with the solo shot. Rojas is out there being a damn machine at the bottom of the lineup. Everybody's contributing, tacking on runs, blowing the game out of proportion. This team hasn't been able to do that in quite some time. And of course, the 4 hits from a right-handed bat in Wilson that's taken it to right field all game long. This dude's going the other way. And this is after a Miami game where it looked as if a lot of the fellas were going the other way with it. And that's right after they popped up 1,000 times in the loss to Miami. So I'm starting to see a shift. Am I being blinded through the red glasses? All right? The red pinstripe glasses. And I feel completely different when we watch them play Atlanta, when we watch them play Kansas City. Maybe. But you know the number one rule here. I let you know how I feel. And if I pretended that I wasn't feeling something after these 2 games, a Kyle Schwarber grand slam and a Weston Wilson cycle, these are moments that do inspire teams. I'll say it again. I'm not only throwing around a 3rd inning single that knocked in a run and hoping that's what made this team feel good again. These are obnoxious ways to perform. This is Citizens Bank Park. If it had a roof, the roof would be blown off because of how loud everybody is in there. You're grabbing the attention of the fans again. It's starting to form again. You're pouring on runs, and I can't ask for much more right now. What a dub. What a damn dub. Yeah, the Nationals are funny to laugh at. Yeah, they're a disgrace with whatever you want to call some of the plays, defensive, whatever it is. I mean, they're just trash. But I've watched the Phillies play down to that competition lately. And not only play down to bad teams' competition, but somehow play even worse. So I got this message on Twitter when I said we were due for a laugher. They can't, this specific person, can't really move forward because it's another Zach Wheeler effort. And it's what can they do when Zach Wheeler's not throwing? Christopher Sanchez doesn't look the same. Taijuan Walker stinks. Tyler Phillips isn't a complete game shutout type of dude. Right? There's a lot of concerns when it's not Wheeler. And that's fair. That's fair. But this offense has been dead. What I've seen lately in the last 2 wins is something that really defined who they were for a while this season. And they would blow you out so much, and they would tack on runs through the 6th, through the 7th, through the 8th, where you can't survive. And they would beat up on bad teams. And we'll see if this actually carries into the next road trip when they leave Citizens Bank Park. And ultimately, that will matter. But it's been so long since I felt this team like this that instead of poo-pooing it for 2 nights, so be it. I'm going to soak in it. All right? I'm going to lather myself up in all this greatness. Because it reminds me of the team that I fell in love with when I said they had an it factor about them. So even though it was Wheeler, I get it. I get it. Yes, more times than not, you're going to win a baseball game with Wheeler, especially if your offense starts to rake the way they did. And I need Aaron Nola to step up and not allow a bunch of home runs to Washington tomorrow. You know, and yeah, we're having a very similar conversation that we're having now as we did at the end of the Diamondback series. Look at the way you're lined up with Wheeler, with Nola, with Sanchez. And there's a difference in competition level with how hot the Diamondbacks were and who the Nationals are. I get it. I get it. But I'm not going to allow, and as bad as it was, but I'm not going to allow one of my last hopes here at turning the page to be destroyed. And I stand by that. And the reason why I stand by that is how crazy and absurd these moments truly are that we're talking about. I just want to make sure that's highlighted here. What Kyle and Wilson did was special. It does have the ability to potentially really spark the club. These aren't little, tiny, little pockets of adrenaline. This is overwhelming amount of adrenaline. And the rest of the team seems to be following suit. Whether it's Rojas, I'm even starting to wonder if Rojas, am I talking myself into Rojas being competent at the plate in the postseason? Maybe, but that's a game changer. I thought there was a huge hole where the last guy in your lineup is basically 3 outs. If he gets 3 at-bats and he's so incompetent that he's 3 outs, you're essentially throwing away an inning in a playoff game. 3 outs, an inning. If he's hitting 0.80, 0.90, 0.68, 0.72, whatever the hell it was last postseason. If his speed could be a threat and he puts a ball in play and he passes it back up to the top of the lineup and now Kyle Schwarber can come up to the dish with bases loaded, maybe there's reasons to believe that that can happen now. Because he's been busting his ass every day since they kicked him down to the minors and said, reboot yourself. And I don't know if I'm just being swayed because Brandon Marsh stinks because Austin Hayes isn't healthy, but I've been saying it jokingly, to be fair. But, Wilson might have some pop. Brandon Marsh has been unplayable. If you can fill that role with someone that can actually deliver, not cycles consistently, but if someone can actually make damn contact, and when he does, square it up and put the ball in the gap or put the ball over the wall, hit extra base hits, I think Weston Wilson can do that. I truly do. That changes who the Phillies are. And if Sosa could get in the lineup more, if Stott's struggling, maybe you platoon that. Maybe second base is the platoon. I never thought we would want that, okay? I always thought I wanted Stott to play every day. I thought I wanted Marsh to play every day, but they haven't been good enough. So if Sosa could be a right-handed bat in the infield for you, so Stott doesn't have to face lefties. If Wilson could play for Brandon Marsh and be a right-handed bat, and they contribute, then your 5, 6, 7, 8 in the order is in a black hole. And it's been a black hole forever. It's been deflating when they've been at the plate and getting overwhelmed and overmatched almost for, 3 months? 2.5 months? So just something to think about on why maybe it could be different moving forward. Kyle Schwarber scored 2 runs. He went 1 for 5. Trey, 3 hits. I think he responded to the message from Rob Thompson. I do. He played inspired. I saw a different look in his eyes. So I'm starting to believe that, behind the scenes, maybe Trey Turner did get ripped a new asshole from Rob. And he took it personally. Good. That's what I want. I want him to get pissed off. I want him to feel a push. The manager had to give him a shove. Move forward now, please. It's time. You had enough. You have to compete. You have to show effort. You have to be locked in and focused. I saw a better Trey Turner today with 3 hits. Bryce, 2 hits. Nick, 2 hits. Couple RBI. Bomer with the homer. Hey, how about that? That knocked in 3 runs. Rojas with 3 runs. All right. Now, JT scored a run. He walked, and he singled in the 8th. You got a lot of production from your offense. 17 hits. 1 error. Of course, had to throw that in there. But the Nationals had 3. So it looked the way it was supposed to look. Parker, in 3 innings pitched, allowed 9 earned runs and 10 hits. That's a stat line that we've been seeing out of the Phillies side of things. I just got a text from Jeff Mosher of Inside the Birds. I just uploaded my Tanner McKee Should Be Quarterback 2 podcast, and he just sent me a screenshot of it and said, why, Brodes? Why? Well, did you watch the game, Moshe? That's my response. All right, why don't we go to the Anytime Hotline and hear from the people? Before we do, though, you know that I've been working very closely with Chris Gates Fitness because, well, he's the greatest in the world. Chris has been coaching, top-notch guidance, by the way, for essentially over 6 years now online. And his clients consistently get results by implementing a flexible approach to diet and exercise. So if you're interested in getting brand new workout programs every month, fitness challenges every month to help push you into developing healthy habits, with challenges where you can win awesome prizes, awesome Q&As with Chris that are personalized and supported from Chris himself, and so much more, then check out chrisgatesfitness.com/training camp. The link is down below in the description. And if you use promo code Brodes, you get 50% off the first month. And nearing the end of August, the weekly football pick'ems will begin. A winner will win free supplements from Legion Athletics. And in September, there will be a step count challenge for the training camp community where a free walk pad treadmill will go to the winner. So you do not want to miss out on this opportunity if you're looking to really make some healthy decisions in your life and kind of snowball into getting healthier. There's no doubt about it. You have to check out Chris Gates Fitness online. The information is down below in the description. Okay, with that, we'll run to the Anytime Hotline and hear from the beautiful people.
Yo, bros, it's Nolan. Hey, first off, delete all the Anytime Hotline archives so there's no proof of me ever saying anything bad about Yanroas or Weston Wilson. With that being said, I have never said anything bad about Yanroas or Weston Wilson. Hey, man, good game. We want the sweep of the freaking Nationals. We come out and we make a statement, and that's what I love. Big night. Obviously hit for the cycle from Weston, which was dope. Johan with a couple of hits, tried to pull a Cassie and get in the second. You know, I appreciate it. It's a good overall game. Way to start the series, but again, I mean, we got to finish the job.
Nothing like the Nick Castellanos slide from the other night after Kyle's grand slam. I saw somebody break it down in slow motion and play it on repeat because he essentially fell on his ass and just put both of his feet out. It wasn't really a slide. It was some weird, awkward, desperation, pathetic level of dropping down on his rear end. I don't know. Someone put a loop on it, though, in slow-mo, and it is like the most hysterical thing I've ever seen. Yeah, you know what, Rojas? Last thing I'm doing is ripping Yanroas. I said I might even start believing in him. I said I might even actually believe that he can maybe, play this little role. And a lot of that is because everyone else around him is failing. And Austin Hayes can't stay on the field. And Marsh is so brutal. And he's doing good. I don't want to knock him here. He's doing good. I haven't said a damn word that was bad about him. I've always said that Yanroas could be the difference maker to make this team elite. I've been saying that since day one. I've been saying that since day one. This guy's got it. This guy's the man. This guy's the dude. This guy's the game changer. I've been saying it since day one. I say, Rob, you know what you're doing. I say, Rob, I never criticize. I say, Rob, you always make the right decisions and your lackadaisical approach is amazing, and I love you for it. I say, Rob, you never do anything wrong. Rojas, you never do anything wrong. I've been saying it since day one. I don't know what to tell you. Man, you're right, though. All good things here to start off the series against Washington. Please don't fall on your face Friday night. Please don't do something silly and dumb on Saturday, on Sunday to ruin these good vibes. Because if I look back on this Thursday night post-game pod and I go, dude, I'm an idiot, I'm going to be so mad. You can't ruin this fun little surge, okay? Damn it. Take advantage of it and kick it into gear. And I hope we look back at that meeting that happened behind the scenes and say there was a response. You got to be methodical when you push certain buttons, when you're Rob with this cool, calm, collected ways. And if they start to really tear it up, well, we'll reflect back and say, the team knew. The team felt the pressure. The team understood that the local talk was, yo, Rob. So Rob did something about it, and they followed suit. We'll see, though. But it was a good start so far. It was a good start. 2-0 since the meeting. That matters. What's next?
This was the game that reminded us of what the Phillies were like prior to the All-Star break. This is exactly goes back to what was working with the Phillies. They are a front-running team. As soon as they get an early lead, I don't know what happens with the psyche with everybody. If they relax, they get amped. But as soon as we get a lead, we just humble opponents. And today was a great showing of what we, used to be able to do. I'm kind of, we're all hoping that this is, we can continue this. It's, everyone was on fire. Everybody was contributing. So we just need to continue this. We need to get about 3 out of the next 4 series won to kind of give us any confidence that the Phillies are kind of back and be ready for playoff baseball.
Oh, you mean you're not convinced now that they are? Me neither. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. All right, so where do we begin with that? The lead. All right, so you brought up playing with the lead. I think it makes sense, though, to have more swag when you pounce on an opponent. And not only that, I think they smelled blood. All right, the way Washington was playing with the sloppiness, with the errors, with how bad they are. I mean, literally within seconds, I saw my timeline fill up with essentially everybody in the Delaware Valley go, holy shit, does Washington blow? Right? I mean, it was that egregious at times, and you smell that. So when you're up 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, you got 9-0 leads on teams like that, it's easy to walk up to the plate and know it's going to be a night where everybody essentially can almost snag a multi-hit effort. And you should be able to smell blood. I guess what I hope doesn't happen is the classic, wow, you had 17 hits and scored how many runs on Thursday night? And then you follow that up with an absolute dud and you can't produce any sort of offense and you leave runners in scoring position. And let's say that there's a meatball over the heart of the plate. You foul it back, or, you foul it out of play or something along those lines. And if it was Thursday night again, it would have been 50 seats back. So they're throwing Patrick Corbin, who's sniffing a 6 ERA, and this dude is 2-12. He's almost allowed the same amount of homers as Nola. Nola has allowed 3 more homers than him. Of course he has. But he's got a 6 ERA. Let's see Weston Wilson. Let's see Edmundo Sosa. I want to see some righties in that lineup against Corbin, and I want to see them go to work. I want to see Weston Wilson. It would be so Rob Thompson. With the lefty up, it's right there on a silver platter for you. I'm glad it's not a right-hander, because if it was a right-hander, then maybe they'd think about not playing Weston. Although, Marsh would get in there, and then I'm sure Rojas would get in there. But anyway, I'm just saying, it's easy. It's on a silver platter for you. Run out the dude who just had a damn cycle. I mean, the amount of times I thought Bryson Stott was turning the corner throughout the regular season, and then, there's a lefty on the mound, so we're not putting Stott in, and Stott sits on his ass for 2 days, and it just killed any sort of potential momentum. Let's not get stupid here. When I said I wanted a major shakeup 2 days ago, and all they did was essentially remove Trey Turner and put Nick Castellanos in the 2-hole, I had Wilson in my hypothetical damn lineup for a reason. I wanted it to get nasty. I wanted it to get weird. I wanted it to be like a massive impact type of shakeup, and that's why. You got hungry players like that who's waiting, and I've seen him have some pop to him and all, and I think that he can try to do something to ignite a damn fire, and he did. Of course he did. It was a day late. You survived, Topper, with Kyle Schwarber, the leader that he is, stepping up and hitting the hallelujah grand slam. What was that, 1 day before Bryce Harper's grand slam against the Cubs when you date back in Phillies history? Well, maybe that's telling. That's what I'm saying here. There's a reason why I feel as crazy as I do about this thing maybe taking off. It's all aligning for me. I said 3 days ago I wouldn't do this. I'm such an idiot.
Brodes, I don't even want to say any word that sounds like back. Nothing. Not even those 4 letters, B-A-C-K.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
don't even want to talk about it with this team. They played great tonight. But what it is stacking good games, stacking good at-bats. Look, this team, unless a monumental collapse, they're probably going to make the playoffs. I want to see them playing good ball, stack good at-bats, stack good games, stack great pitching. That's what I want to see. We got 2 in a row. Let's keep stacking them. Go Phils.
Hell yeah, baby. I love that. I do. I truly do love that sort of message and that approach to it all is you can't control the schedule. You can't control who you're facing. If it happens to be a disaster organization like Washington, what do? You can't handpick it to be the Dodgers. You can't handpick it to be a team that is like the Milwaukee Brewers who has a good record. You can't do that. So the only thing you can ask for them to do is to play consistent ball, is to constantly have this feel-good attitude, is to make us fall back in love again because you're playing the right way, because you're focusing on the little things. How about, and it's something I didn't even note in the post-game pod against the Marlins, which is an absolute fucking disgrace on my end, but having the proper backup when Ruiz is backing up and being in the right spots, those details matter. They matter. They stop runs. They stop teams from scoring. They stop like a potential maybe run. Like remember when it was 6-5 and you go, all right, there's a man on third base. Ruiz comes in. He gets out of it. If the Marlins tied up 6-6 within seconds, that is crushing. It rips your soul out of your chest. Well, backing up pieces, that matters. So if you stack that up, regardless who your opponent is, that's what we need to see to witness a turnaround for this club. So let's focus on the stacking. Stacking good at-bats, watching them go the other way with it, not trying to pull the baseball, not trying to do too much, not trying to hit a home run every single little at-bat and put too much into every swing, which throws everything off, and now you're starting to pop balls up. No, use the whole field. Go the other way with it. Bryce poking it down the left field line. Weston Wilson going to right field nonstop, right center field. I want that. I need that right now because the alternative we've seen, they haven't been able to get the results that we were looking for. And to dig yourself out of that hole, you got to simplify it. Go back to the basics. I almost wonder, and there's no reason for me to ever think that this really happened. I was just thinking out loud to myself when I was in so much pain and trying to sort of figure out ways that they can play good baseball again. What I would have done if I was in the locker room is say, you're not allowed to hit any homers today. And I don't know if other sports do this, but in hockey, there's a fine jar, but there's also a pot, if you will. And I know in the NHL, if you go on the road and you go to your hometown team and you win and you put a certain amount of money on the board, and if you end up, having a good game, you end up paying that amount of money into the pot, and then at the end of the year, you sort of have a shindig or a how do you do with all the money that was accumulated throughout the whole year and that type of deal. Well, if there is a such thing in baseball, I'm not sure. I would do something where if you hit a home run, you got to put money in the pot. And you never really want to put the money in the pot. You want to keep it in your bank account, even though it goes to a good cause and you enjoy it at the end of the season. But my point is, emphasize no homers. I don't want any damn homers against the Washington Nationals. I just want to play good ball, and let's keep moving through this lineup. And if you happen to hit one, so be it, but that would change the approach of everybody at the plate, and then we'd probably see better at-bats. And that's how I would have done it. I'm curious what they did. Maybe it was just Topper losing it for a second when he never loses it, and that was enough. Or Rob benching Trey Turner. Maybe that was enough. Maybe you didn't have to get to that point where you say, hey, if you hit homers, then we're going to start fining you. Not like a team fining you where it's like that would never happen, CBA stuff. This is clubhouse etiquette. I just don't know if they do that in baseball. I know for damn sure they do it in hockey, though. All right, let's go to Mist.
What's up, Brodes? Mist. Special game. Very special game. Very reminiscent of the no-no last year with, funny enough, Weston Wilson getting a home run in his first game. Still only one game. We went through a lot of hurt. Very hard to say things like they're back. But they sure did feel different tonight. Something else was in them. We'll see. Great watch. Go Phils.
All right. It seems like everybody was sort of a little nervous and a little skeptical of saying those words. I have no problem with it. It is different. I'll tell you why it's different. All jokes aside, there are real reasons to feel happy about what they've done over the last 2 games. And that's not being blinded by who they're playing. Like that, we're taking that into account. Taking everything in account. I think it's okay to really enjoy these 2 and think that maybe they can allow themselves to catch fire. That this can push them all in the right direction. Because these are loud statements. They're impactful emotional wins. The emotions, they run its course throughout a season. And when things get hot and the emotions get high in the positive direction, more times than not, with a talented roster like this, you start to see great things on a consistent basis. We've discussed for a while that they're too good to be playing that down, and there's reasons why we felt that way. And we would like to think that grand slams and cycles could be the turning point. And that's not a irrational thought. That's not some crazy thought. There's reasons to feel confidently in a turnaround when you see those type of moments occur. I really believe that. So we'll see. Hopefully it don't make me look like an idiot. All right, everybody, that'll do it. Appreciate it. We'll talk on the next one. Go Phils.